Hi, this video is for Awakening Truth volunteers that want to edit events at Awakening Truth on the website. And so what you're going to need to do is you're going to obviously need to go through the volunteer coordinator and get signed on to be able to get access to uh, the, the administrator part of the website. So you'll just need to talk to Kat and then she'll coordinate with the tech team to get you access. Once you get access, you can come down here to a button called Admin. And in this admin, you'll be able to log in. And that login will be able to give you access to the front end. The front end is the regular website with some special access levels. And then the back end is actually where you have to log in special to get to other functionality on the back end of the website. So our volunteers that manage events will do that actually on the front end. And you'll notice here that we actually have then a category. As soon as we log in, we have submit an event and retreats and special events. So if we go under submit an event, you'll be able to see that there's a function here now to be able to do that. So say, for example, if we wanted to create a test event and we wanted to put that under, let's say, for example, a regular event, and there's no special category of that. It's just a regular event. We can choose an image to upload here if we want, or we could just leave that blank. It's nice to have an image though. You can check a location. Right now we have any place on your phone. We use that for inquiry calls and the interactive inquiry. Awakening Truth Learning Center, that's essentially Alma's apartment, and so it's the local Santa Rosa events. Buddha Day home, Flowering Lotus Meditation Center, that's Magnolia, Mississippi. That happens once a year or so. I know Alma went down there this year. Sacramento Dharma Center, we're actually going to be offering some more websites or some more workshops there. Then we have, it looks like we had Serenity Ridge, and then we have the Unitarian Church. Now, I'm not sure where the Unitarian Church is, but you can actually add then a new location if you needed to by coming in here and putting in the name of the location, state, city, address, and the coordinates, and go from there. But let's say, for example, we're going to just offer an event that's right out of, let's say it's going to be the Awakening Truth Learning Center. One of the things you can do is come down here to your start date. Let's just go ahead and anchor a start date on the 28th. It's going to end on the 28th. Now, this is kind of interesting. So you'll notice here that this has 24 essentially. So this is in a 24-hour format. So you're going to have to be careful. So 13 actually means 1 in the afternoon, 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon, 4 in the afternoon. I just ask that you are very careful about which one of these that you're using. It'll translate on the front end to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and 5 o'clock. But on this end, you need to put in the 24-hour mode. And then this gives you actually the time and minutes that you can put in here. So let's just go ahead and say it's going to start at 8:30 and it's going to end sometime around 10:30 in the morning. Okay. We can actually say if we wanted to have a registration. Now let me show you a little bit. If we want people to actually sign up for the event, we're going to need to put in a start date for that. You just have to make sure that the start date is prior to the event. So you don't want to necessarily have it on 2/28. You might want to have it on 2/27. And then the cutoff date for that. If there's a price, you want to be able to put in the price for that. All talks and inquiries and webinars are going to be Donna only, so there's not going to be any price for that. So that's going to be 0. And then if we had a capacity for the Learning Center, definitely we're probably going to want to keep it to 15 or so. And the registration type, we have several options here. We can register both individual or group registrations. Let's say a group wants to come. You can have, typically we're going to have individuals only. We're probably never going to have only group registration. But the other function that you want to look at here is disable registration. We may want to have disabled registration to where we want to show it up on the calendar that it's happening, but we don't necessarily want to have people signing up and registering for that event. Okay. Then let's just go ahead and say we're going to disable registration. Max number of registrants for a group. Obviously, we're not going to do that, but you need if it's group, if we involve the group registration, we have to say at least 2. And then published, yeah, we're going to publish this. This is going to be a test. If I can spell, there we go, a test. And then don't worry about these brown buttons down here. We're primarily going to do any editing for this in this area. And so you might want to just get to know each of these different functions. I would invite you to whatever you put in here when you edit, don't just copy and paste off of a Word document that has coding in it. What I would recommend is that you use a function like this here, which is going to be Notepad. And so Notepad, let me just open up a new window. And let's say, for example, we wanted to add a bunch of things here, and we wanted to copy off of something. We could actually, let me just go here and put in dogs or something. See how that's bold and everything? Well, it's going to have some HTML script in it. What this does is that it actually takes all of that out. And if you Google on here for your particular computer, you should be able to type in here Notepad if you're on and then desktop, you should be able to find that. And then what I typically do, you're going to use it a lot, I would just go ahead and pin it from your taskbar so it ends up coming down here. Okay, so then we're going to come in here and we're going to submit an event. We're going to put that in there. So some of the typical things are going to be, we're going to want to bold, we're going to italicize, we're going to want to underline it. There it is, puppies. Shoot, we want to even center the whole thing. We may want to add a picture. And this is probably the most important function, that if you don't have a picture, what we might want to do is put in right here, we have a folder called events. And under events, let's see if that brings that up. Under events, we have some images already that are up here. I would highly invite you to use the event folder for that. You can upload a picture in here by clicking on uploads. And you can actually browse your computer then to be able to upload that. And then that'll upload it in this function. Once it's uploaded in here, you're going to be able to find that image and then insert that in here. Okay. Also, another little tip is you see these 3 little lines that are down here. This can actually drag open the window for us a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. Also, when you click on the image, you're going to be able to resize it if you want. You notice how puppies now is down here. There's a way to manage that. If we go back into the images, we can actually set this up to wrap around. So we can actually say, you know what, we want this picture on the left, and let's go ahead and save that and see what that looks like. All right, so let's just go ahead and take a look at this, and we're not going to center this anymore. We're going to left-hand justify. The point is that I want to show you how close that text is to the image, and see how puppies is right up against there. Well, we're going to create a little bit of space. And how we do that is we manage it with this margin. So what we want to do is the text is actually to the top, so we want to create a little bit of space there. And off on the right, we want to create a little bit of space as well. And you can actually unclick that and make this go 0, 0, and then at the right. So let's take a look at what that looks like now. So you'll see that there's a little bit of space around here and a little bit of space there as well. So you can actually drag and drop the picture to have that be beside it as well and bring that up. So you're going to be able to play with this a little bit more in terms of how this may look. Our dog, blah, blah, blah. So another thing that you can do, which is really good, is that you may want to create a link to that picture to some other something. So you may want to link it to a page, which is under content. Okay, different kind of content. The easiest way to do that is to actually come to the website and say, for example, we want to link it to Guide for Lay People, for example. All we need to do is just copy that link. I don't know if you can see it. We just copied that link, and we're just going to put that link in there. Or we have to make sure that that link is now going to open in a new window, and the title of that's going to be Guide for Lay People. This is actually an important thing. Guide for Lay People. This is actually a really important thing. This is a legal criteria right here. Guide for lay people. People that can't see very well. It's accessibility. So they have readers that will basically read off Guide for Lay People if they can't quite see it. So when you're putting in an image, that's going to be important for you to do. Okay, so once that's there now, we'll be able to take a look at what we're doing. The description is fine. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's see here, category events, and see if we can see that under events now. Okay, so there's our test right here. And if we clicked on test, oops, let me get off of here. And actually, let me log out and see what it looks like from a regular person's point of view. There we go. So right at the top, we have this is what it looks like in the details. Okay. So if we had it to, we could save this, we can go, oh, you know what, I missed something here, so we can actually log in again. So you're going to need to log out if you want to see what everybody else sees, because you're going to see different things if you're actually logged in. Okay. All right. So then you'll see here now that you can edit that, unpublish it, and save to, etc., etc. You'll also see that you can edit the other events as well. Okay, I hope that helps, guys. That's a basic introduction to the event manager, and at least it'll get you started. Please let me know if you have any questions. Okay, Meta, take care.